Welcome to today's Explainer. We are diving right into a fascinating and, honestly, highly requested topic today. We're going to unpack the wildly potent biological mechanisms behind the side effects of Retatrutide. Look, if you've been following this highly discussed peptide at all, you know there's a massive amount of buzz out there. But today, we're totally skipping the hype. We are focusing entirely on the biology. We're going to pop the hood and systematically break down what this compound is actually doing to your body.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because this right here is the pivotal question on absolutely everyone's mind. So many people start this protocol and suddenly, bam, they're hit with absolute exhaustion, racing heartbeats, or even the totally bizarre sensation of their skin hurting just from a shirt touching it. It can be terrifying, right? You immediately wonder, wait, am I malfunctioning? Is my body rejecting this? Well, we're going to validate those fears right now, and by the end of this explainer, you're going to understand exactly why every single one of these things is happening.
To really grasp the side effects, we first have to understand the magic of this specific drug. Retatrutide is what's called a triple receptor agonist. While other popular weight loss peptides out there are pulling, maybe one or two metabolic levers, Retatrutide hits all three simultaneously. It hits GLP-1, GIP, and glucagon. It's this simultaneous triple action that triggers such massive, rapid weight loss. But it's also exactly why it produces the kind of intense side effects it does.
So here's our roadmap for today's systems check. We'll be touring the body to understand the collateral damage of this shift. We've got 1. The triple receptor magic, 2. Fatigue and sleep disruption, 3. Breaking the digestive highway, 4. Muscles, joints, and the furnace, 5. The heartbeat, and finally 6. Sensitive skin and rare risks. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The Triple Receptor Magic.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that to understand the side effects, you really have to look at the fundamental metabolic renovation your body is being forced to undergo. Your body is fighting a massive change. Think about what's actually being asked of it here. You're shifting your primary fuel source from fast, easy glucose over to fat oxidation. At the exact same time, because your appetite is tanked, you're taking in significantly fewer calories. And most importantly, you are drastically dropping your insulin levels, which completely depletes your glycogen stores and your circulating blood sugar. This makes the drug feel intensely potent, especially in that first month. Your body is quite literally under construction.
Section 2. Fatigue and sleep disruption. If you are experiencing profound exhaustion and completely fragmented sleep, I want to reassure you right now, this is not a malfunction. It is simply the drug working exactly as designed. Let's walk through this cascading loop because it's honestly fascinating. Remember how we just talked about those dropping insulin levels? Well, less insulin causes your kidneys to aggressively dump sodium and water. When you lose that sodium and water, your overall blood volume literally drops. Now, to keep your blood pressure stable with less fluid in the pipes, your heart has to step up and work much harder to pump that reduced volume around. So think about it. You're running on low blood sugar, low sodium, and low water. No wonder you feel completely wiped out.
And here's the kicker. This doesn't just happen during the day. Fragmented sleep is exactly the same mechanism amplifying itself at night. Because of this continuous loop, your nervous system never truly downshifts into recovery mode. You're essentially running a metabolic marathon right there in your bed. This is exactly why users wake up utterly exhausted. The fix here is pretty straightforward though. Double down on your electrolytes, specifically sodium and water, and please be patient with your dosage titration. There's no need to rush it.
Section 3. Breaking the digestive highway.
All right, this brings us to the category of side effects absolutely everyone anticipates with dread, the GI issues, and the most infamous of them all, the sulfur burps. Retatrutide effectively stomps on the brake pedal of your digestive highway. The GLP-1 component slows your gastric emptying, meaning food sits in your stomach longer and travels through your system much, much slower. And this brilliantly illustrates the problem. Those deeply unpleasant sulfur burps are literally hydrogen sulfide gas created from food just fermenting in your slowed-down gut. It's completely harmless, I promise, but yeah, it's incredibly annoying.
So, how do we fix it? Let's methodically review these doctor-recommended strategies. For constipation, taking magnesium oxide at night can be an absolute lifesaver. Just be careful taking it during the day because it pulls water into your GI tract and can feel pretty uncomfortable. For the nausea and those fermented sulfur burps, the fix is largely behavioral. You need to eat much smaller meals, limit the liquids you drink while you're actually eating, and maybe consider adding digestive enzymes to help break that food down. Even dry mouth, which is likely caused by the exact same autonomic shift slowing your gut, can usually be managed just by adjusting your hydration timing.
Section 4. Muscles, joints, and the furnace. Listen, whenever you experience rapid weight loss, you carry a severe, very real risk of muscle loss.
Because of this, these daily protein targets right here are non-negotiable. If you are on this protocol, your daily protein target needs to be 150 to 200 grams for men and 100 to 130 grams for women. I literally cannot state this urgently enough. Your muscle is the metabolic furnace that keeps your entire system running. If you lose your muscle, your metabolism absolutely crashes. Hitting these protein numbers and engaging in active resistance training is absolutely required.
Aside from muscle loss, you might also find yourself dealing with muscle cramps and joint pain. Now, the cramps are largely driven by that exact same sodium dump we discussed earlier. As you lose sodium, magnesium, and potassium, your muscles are going to rebel. Replacing specific electrolytes, like getting, say, 1,000 milligrams of sodium in, along with adequate potassium and magnesium, can predictably eliminate the cramps and the headaches that mimic these peptide side effects. Now, the joint pain is a bit more mysterious, but it's widely considered to be just an inflammatory response to that sudden metabolic shift, and thankfully it's usually self-limiting.
Section 5. The heartbeat.
This next side effect surprises a lot of people, but it all comes back to that triple receptor mechanism, specifically the glucagon component. Glucagon can literally tell your heart to beat faster to increase your metabolism. So a completely normal reaction is an elevated resting heart rate, usually a bump of about 5 to 10 beats per minute. On its own, in an otherwise healthy person, this is not a red flag. Give your body some time to settle, increase your hydration, and just keep an eye on it. However, and I want to be incredibly clear and serious here, palpitations, irregular heart rhythms, or any chest pain whatsoever are absolute red flags. Those are definitely not symptoms to just push through. Those demand an immediate conversation with your doctor.
Section 6. Sensitive skin and rare risks.
I really want to validate a truly bizarre symptom that makes users think they are suffering from a genuine neurological malfunction. It's a condition called allodynia. This is when your skin literally hurts from things that simply shouldn't hurt, like the fabric of your shirt brushing against you, a light touch, or feeling like you have a severe sunburn when you haven't even been outside. Why in the world does this happen? So the crucial point is that glucagon receptors actually exist in your sensory neurons. As the drug modulates those receptors, it effectively turns up your body's pain dial, hypersensitizing your whole nervous system. For most people, the fix is simply dialing the dose back down for a few weeks to let the body adjust.
Finally, we absolutely must discuss the rare but very severe risks. Rapid weight loss dramatically increases the risk of gallstones, which usually presents as a sudden, sharp pain in the upper right quadrant of your abdomen, especially right after eating a fatty meal. There is also a theoretical risk of pancreatitis, which feels like severe, unrelenting upper abdominal pain that shoots straight through to your back. Let me be very serious for a moment. These are major medical emergencies. They cannot be fixed with some electrolytes or by tweaking your dosage. They require immediate professional medical evaluation.
Which leads perfectly into this direct plea from the source material. Don't let Reddit be your doctor. Seriously. So many people are utilizing unapproved or even pirated versions of these peptides based entirely on internet forums. But tampering with 3 of your body's most powerful metabolic hormones, that absolutely requires professional medical supervision alongside it.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. When you look at the truly miraculous benefits of triple receptor agonists and weigh them against the severe biological toll they demand from your heart, your gut, and your nervous system, how far are you willing to push your metabolic boundaries for weight loss without professional guidance? It's a fascinating scientific frontier for sure, but it's one that demands profound respect for human biology. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep researching, stay curious, and I'll catch you on the next one.